So I'm here with Scott right now, and we are right now at your farm, which is massive. All right. That's gotta be the fun thing growing up on a farm, because there's so much land, there's so much to do.
Oh, there's
you
a
go
lot of fun
outside.
things. Yeah, I used to race motocross when I was a kid.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Practice just in the freaking hayfield.
Yeah, I had tracks all over the place. Yeah, it was fun. There's good sides of it. I mean, it's when you're younger and we'd have big bonfires. All of us would go around drinking beers, and
that's so fun.
Is that something I got to fix with dirt and some rocks?
Still taking.
Oh, okay. I'll do that.
So you just ripped right there. What was that? 3-4 phone calls in like 10 minutes?
Yeah, try to.
Oh my gosh. And you were telling me when you're on the tractor, you're not even getting to just be.
No, I don't get a chance to. No,
you're on the phone the entire time.
Yeah, the whole time. Usually, like I said, there was I think there was a couple days there. I got close to 100 phone calls in one day.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I usually just go from one to one to one. This is the slowest time. I think a lot of people, because it's coming up the holidays, they're not calling me all that much and stuff. So, but it's kind of a slow time. But
when is peak season?
I say spring, things get really crazy.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if it's like that spring, summer, fall. Like we're just done rather. The earliest stuff I've ever been done was this year. I'm normally harvesting. Probably I'm just making Christmas time, before we're done. But It's great to be done early.
And that must have been interesting in your family, because your brother, who we just spoke to, decided not to be the farmer.
Yeah, and I got two other brothers too that decided not to do it too.
So where are you in the line?
I'm the youngest.
So the older ones didn't want to do anything with it, and you're like, all right, I'm taking over.
Yeah, I got a little forced into it because my dad passed away.
Yeah.
But I was doing a lot at that point. So my senior year in high school, I was going to go and I was supposed to go off to diesel mechanic school out in Colorado, and my dad had a kind of like a mild heart attack, I guess if you could, and he wasn't able to lift anything, and that was in May. So we're obviously getting ready to plant corn, and that's when my mom and we decided to stay on the farm. Yeah. And that was in 1989, I guess it was 89.
And your brothers had already been taken off.
They were already gone. They're a little bit older than me.
Oh, so they had already decided they weren't going to be farmers.
No. So I was working with my dad quite a bit, and so I decided to stay that year. And that was the year that really farming became quite a. It was profitable, and so I
made sense.
So it was kind of like one of those things, and then the tractors got a little nicer. Years ago it was, all the equipment was harsh. It was today's equipment. I should have actually put you in a tractor. It's a lot nicer than you think it would be.
Well, we can check it out one later.
Yeah.
So this right here.
He's spreading dry fertilizer now. So that machine there is on a GPS. And, he went back the other field.
GPS, what do you mean?
It's telling him where to put the fertilizer, where not to put the fertilizer.
Oh.
And if we were really, sometimes we get the co-op to do it, and they'll come off when you look into my, I should have showed you on my combines. So this field here, the yields will change, and it has a map on it, and it turns different colors and stuff like that. So if this side of the field was only averaging 100 bushel, and this side was averaging 200, I don't need the same fertilizer for this side as I need for this side. So it will adapt to my. It's called mapping, and it'll adapt. So I'm only putting fertilizer down exactly where I need to put the fertilizer down at.
That's incredible. This guy is flying.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So he can cover 90 feet at 18 miles an hour. So he's covering quite a few acres in a short time.
Does that extend all the way up there too?
Yeah.
You're kidding me.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this makes the other one look small. All this corn. The stock.
What's going on?
How we doing?
Good, how are you?
Pleasure to meet you, sir.
I got to make a few more phone calls. Let's
Yeah,
talk
it's
to
totally
Kevin.
fine.
His guy's
Kevin, nice
working
to
out.
meet you. So you're dropping fertilizer? What are you doing?
Yep, spreading fertilizer.
Wow. How long you been a farmer?
Been a farmer, probably pushing 20 years now.
20 years. And you've been with Scott for this entire time,
11.
or 11?
11 here, yeah.
Wow. Oh my
So,
gosh.
did
Hey,
some
what's
high
going on?
school College, working on farms here and there, and then moved on
Yeah.
to, after college, I was working for a retail company,
Okay.
like fertilizer retailer.
Yeah.
And then I came. You're welcome to go for a ride in it.
Yeah, I
let's
know,
go,
I know,
why
I
not?
know, and
Let's
I've
do
had-
it. Jeez. And when you were
Good
driving
account.
up, you
No.
were flying.
I was-
So you can
I've
fertilize
talked to
and
some
just
guys, I just
pull
don't know
up and
who.
down.
Oh yeah.
Dude. Oh my gosh.
Productivity.
Yeah. So you're just dropping fertilizer with this thing.
Yep. And there's a
yeah, that's an important thing. Yeah, yeah.
where I'm in.
Yeah.
And
So,
so the green is everything that I've already
yeah.
spread.
Well, that's
And then like
all I could say. Everything.
5 pounds
Yeah,
per
we're
acre
doing
now.
pretty good. We're glad to be done. I've been
So
I've
where
been
do you
done
have
for
to,
a while.
you have to spread all the way from
And,
the shred, like all the shred area?
Boy, that's
or-
That's a damn good feeling.
As I get going.
Oh yeah, I usually be happy to done before Christmas. So
You're dropping fertilizer right now.
Now it's dropping.
nice.
Wow.
Just be, you know,
Get to
done
where you're
early
at
and
just sort of drive around.
That's so cool. So how far do you have to go?
Everything. So go around the outside and then you go back and forth in the middle until it's covered, move to the next field, do the same thing. I don't know, I'll probably do like 300 acres today. A little under 300 acres today.
So how long does it take for 300 acres?
I mean, I got to work this morning at 8, so, and I'll be done. It won't take me too much longer. The truck's over there with the fertilizer on it, so as soon as I'm empty, I can go reload again.
So a day to day, like is day life as a farmer, it seems like it comes and goes. It's very different. Like today, it seems like it's gonna be a shorter day.
It's a lot of variability,
Yeah.
and it all depends on what's going on too. Like if this thing broke right now, then I'd have to fix it. So like,
That's where the day goes. We're fixing this thing. How often does that happen?
it's not that often. Most of the time, you just have a full day of doing something, and then once we're done, I'll try not to bounce you out of the seat.
God, all right. This is so wild. Oh my gosh.
It's like riding in a monster truck, right?
You know, it literally is. It's so
Who
sick.
needs to go to Monster Jam when you can go to a farm?
So are these neighbors, are they farmers, or are these just people that live right next to it?
They're just people that live next to it.
Yeah, got it.
Farming in New Jersey is a lot of suburban farming.
Okay.
We're farming like right up to people's houses and stuff. You know, you go out in the Midwest and that where you just have these huge open.
Oh, that was great. Thank you so much.
yeah.
That was really fun. He told me he had a podcast.
Yeah, he's got his own little
That's
thing.
incredible.
Yeah, he's actually you know he's got a degree in this all this stuff. He's
I
very,
know we were
very
talking
knowledgeable.
about it. I was
Yeah,
like, oh,
very
this is
knowledgeable.
awesome.
Yeah, he's a very knowledgeable guy. I mean, we use him all the time for helping us out. You know, because
So that right there, that's a home.
that's a home. I rent that out.
You
Yeah,
rent that out, and then you had another home over there.
yeah, and there's another one on the property too.
And this is to your main home we're going to.
This is just I'm taking you back so you can kind of see the property. You want to see some land.
Oh, I want to see land.
And but my house is back there. I picked up my son early this morning, but if he's home and awake, he's on Colorado time right now.
Oh, I bet with that time change.
Yeah. So, but he just came in for the holidays.
Oh, I can only imagine just your kids growing up with all this area. Like,
Oh gosh.
you're just like, all right, you want to play? Go
Yeah,
out. Just go out to the wilderness and go figure it out.
Yeah, they got stories. They have a lot of fun.
This is so great. So you acquired this obviously from family, you said?
This? No, I bought this. I actually, when my dad passed away, we only owned 4 acres. My grandfather had 1,000 some, but it got messy with family and selling. You know,
Yeah, of
whatever
course.
they had to sell some stuff, and my dad ran into some hard times. He had to sell some land and whatever, and then so all the land we've purchased is basically the last several years. We try to buy we're purchasing a new farm. We're signing the papers next week.
You're buying another farm.
Yes.
So you're always expanding. Look at you.
Yeah.
You can't stop.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a little bit of addiction. Some people are addicted to alcohol or something like that. I guess I'm addicted to a little bit of farming.
Yeah.
So,
what about it? What about it is so addicting that you want to get more land and keep expanding? Is it just the satisfaction of seeing what it looks when it's all
I guess it coming from nothing and starting to, you see the fruits of your labor, but I mean, it's beautiful.
Wow. This is an ideal date spot.
Yeah, it's a nice spot. This is where we go set the kids come up here. We do some skeet shooting up here. And, I don't know. It's just nice.
What direction are we looking at over there?
If you're looking that way, you're going to be looking towards, I believe, into like Flemington, Somerville. We'd be off to this side, I guess.
So we're looking a little, what is that,
southeast.
Southeast, okay.
Yeah, southeast.
And then that direction?
You'd be going just about due east.
So New York City over there?
Yep, New York City's more that way. Yep.
This is incredible.
So,
man, what was that feeling like when you started to acquire all this land and now you have this land now? That must have been one of the most satisfying things.
Yeah, it's nice. It's a nice feeling, You built
it, like you took it to the next level.
Yeah. I mean, it comes with 7 days a week, and there's hardship on my wife who doesn't see her husband that much. So, and stuff. So it's there's always sacrifices that you get. But I listen. I hope the kids come back someday and they're able to build something off of this. It doesn't have to be farming the way I farm. Yeah. We own another farm that sits right in town of Long Valley that you can walk to all these restaurants and stuff. I thought it'd be a great place to, grow apples or something like that, and people could go apple pick and then go to the local brewery and and it's literally my neighbor is the brewery. So I always thought that would be kind of a cool thing.
That is pretty sick.
Yeah. So, but it might not happen that way. You don't really know, but.
It's so interesting hearing from you. I would think there'd be like this sense of like, oh, I want to make sure my kids adopt this, but you kind of have this free spirited way where you're like, whatever they want to do. I built this, and they can go from that.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping they don't have to work like I did. You know what I mean? I'm hoping they were able to enjoy themselves a little bit more than we just always work. Yeah. So I want them to have a little bit of more freedom, but it's always good to know how to work.
Oh, there's the horse right there. You got a paint.
I got some in there. That's an old sheep barn we turned into a horse stable, and then we took this old hay barn and made stables out of that. It's actually pretty neat inside.
So those horses are just hanging?
They're hanging here for now. The other ones are in a trailer right now going out, and they're going to do a jumping contest.
Oh, so you literally keep your horses here?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I keep horses here, and it's
what a property. That is so beautiful.
Yeah, this pond here, spring fed. Is how dry we are right now. Never ever 90-year-old guys told me they've never seen that go down that low. I don't know if it's because of the earthquakes.
Yeah.
And it changed, but it's never been that low.
This is the lowest it's ever been. And what do you credit that to?
Man, I don't really know. There's definitely a climate change.
Yeah. It's happening.
How it's happening, I don't really, not smart enough to tell you, but there's definitely weird things happening. I mean, these ponds have been here since the 40s.
And these are the lowest it's ever been?
Lowest ever been.
Would it be up to here?
These ponds are okay. It's the other one that feeds these ponds.
Yeah.
And I don't know how. It's almost like the spring released in this one, because now this one's running high. I have no idea.
Look, you guys have a little.
We have a little party spot. That's we call it the COVID spot. That's where everybody in town hung out. All my buddies hung out during COVID. It's the only way we could hang out together. Hang out in a little spot there.
You bring the beers. I got the canoe and pond.
It was fun. It was a good spot for everybody. All the kids hung out there. They camped all in this hayfield, and there was a good little spot for them to hang when they were COVID years.
Wow. So this is still all you guys.
Yeah.
So what's up there too?
That isn't mine. That's a neighbor's. Yeah.
Yeah, I see a little horses up there.
Yeah. Yeah, there's quite a bit of horse industry here.
So all your neighbors, what are they? farmers, or are they?
No. You're not sure what the heck they do for a living, but they're not farmers.
Yeah.
You know.
So they look at you and they're like, "Oh, Scott, he's the farmer."
Yeah, they would probably say that. Yeah, yeah. But they're all really nice neighbors. Like my neighbor back home with the dairy.
Yeah.
I couldn't ask for a nicer neighbor.
Oh, that's so great.
Yeah, they're really, really nice people. I don't have any, like even the farmers, you know, whether they're organic or whatever, I don't have any animosity. They're really nice people. They're really, and I would like to think we help each other, you know, if they're, you know, I let a guy borrow my motor spreader, or, you know, for the last couple of days, you know, whatever, they need something, and vice versa. When I'm broke down or something like that, they're quick to jump in and help me. So they're nice
That's
people.
incredible to hear, especially since, you know, some of the places I've been to, the cities, I lived in Miami for a little bit from California, and our neighbors weren't particularly the friendliest of people. So to hear out here just like how friendly you guys get along and help each other out.
They're great. I mean, you know, I've been very fortunate that way.
It's so beautiful. Wow, and this is your guys' too right here, right?
That is not mine.
That's not yours?
No.
That's so funny. That's
I tried to buy that. That's not mine. The town actually owns that, and this fellow here has been farming it since, you know, his family's been here forever.
Oh, there's your cattle. So
No, that has nothing to do with me.
That has nothing to do with you. But do you get dairy from there, or?
Nope. That's a different neighbor than the one I have down by the farm. There's two dairy farms, and I think there's 4 dairy farms in Hunterdon County, and we got 2. They're both my neighbors. One's my neighbor here, and one's my neighbor on the other farm.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're looking at like a massive farm. Oh yeah, here someone's doing some jumping. It looks like.
Whereabouts?
There's some riders.
Oh yeah, that might be my daughter. That looks like her.
She's probably looking at the truck, being like, "Wait a minute."
Yep, that's my daughter.
What is a beautiful barn over here?
Yeah, freaking really nice place. Really nice people.
Home of Clover Fields, sport horses.
Yeah.
So the people that have owned this barn, how long have they been here?
Not very long.
Okay.
The original.
So you're probably showing them around their own property, being like, "You go here. This is where you go."
Yeah. Yeah. I originally, let's see, private parking. Where the hell can I park here? I grew up on this farm without them being here. I grew up here when it was owned by the Schleys.
That's got to be crazy to see the change.
Oh, this has totally changed.
Just now it's an equestrian.
Yeah.
That's a different.
Yeah. Yeah, it's totally changed.
Went from farming now to horse country.
Yeah. Well, my dad farmed here, and it was a big property. So when you're a little kid and your mom's working, and I was real little, and they would just put me on a bicycle and tell me to go have fun while he was out baling hay, and I would learn how to ride a bicycle on that road. Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
But we're in good hands. Yeah, I know, right?
Katie's looking good.
All right, the farmer's wife. How we doing? How's it feel being the farmer's wife out here in rural New Jersey?
It feels wonderful.
Because from what I've heard is you come from the city. Am I not mistaken?
I come from the suburbs.
The suburbs, okay. But you didn't grow up the farm life.
I did not, but
Yeah.
Where I grew up, we did have riding stables.
Oh, you did? Okay, so you had some of this.
Had some riding stables, and I also was always drawn to the woods and the streams, and I think it's where I was meant to be.
Yeah. So what's it like being the farmer's wife? What does that life look like?
Well, I can explain how it feels to be that farmer's wife.
Yes, that farmer's wife.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I love that farmer. I think he's probably the most motivated person I know. Very, very dedicated to his job.
Yeah. A very hard and grueling job. And from what he showed me today, it's just spends a lot of time working. And like there's a sacrifice there. So I can only imagine on your end what that's like.
Yeah. I understand it because the horse business is similar. It's you're all in, and he's all in to farming.
Yeah.
So The good thing is that he comes home every night, so it's not the kind of job where you have to travel to another country or another state.
Yeah.
And you're always flying from one place to another and away from the family for days or weeks at a time.
Yeah.
You know, Scott's home every night, and
Yeah.
so it's very comfortable, actually.
Yeah.
I can always depend on him to be home and to leave at exactly the same time every morning.
Did you have those expectations? That's something I'm curious about. Is like, what were your expectations going into that relationship, knowing what would entail?
Yeah.
What did you expect?
I did expect that.
Yeah.
That's not a surprise. I think what's, as the years have gone on, the business has grown.
Yeah.
A lot.
All the land. Oh my gosh. So when I
Yeah.
thought about this, when I showed up, I'm like, oh, they're going to have some land and we're just going to look at that land. He's like,
Yeah.
well, we're over here. We're actually in another
Yeah,
we're over there. I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah, so when we met and got married shortly after we met, and then I was pregnant shortly after that.
One after another.
It came pretty fast. I thought, oh, I can do the books. I can take care of the paperwork.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a baby, and that will work out perfectly because I'll be able to do that while I'm at home. And I thought that would be my contribution to the business and to our family, and then still have my horses on the side.
There you go.
It has just grown a lot.
Yeah.
So that's been a little bit surprising over the years.
Yeah, you didn't expect it to get as big as it is.
Yeah. And I think he shows no sign of slowing down either.
Yeah, I don't get that vibe at all. We spent the entire day with each other. He's like, yeah, I'm trying to buy this land and some other land over here. I'm like, wow, you're
he
still
said that?
going.
Did you really?
Considering, I'm like, wow.
Oh, you did you?
No slowing down, it seems like.
Yeah, so we have that discussion now and then.
Yeah.
Because with farming, there's always challenge and stress. And so my conversation with him is that he's choosing to take on more,
Yeah.
and it's not necessary,
Yeah.
except that he still has the drive to do that.
Yeah.
So,
It's hard. I can only imagine
Yeah.
where it's like truly a career that doesn't feel like a career and is like a passion. I could sense it when we were talking about how much he loves it, talking about all the details. It's like, man, some people really wish they could have that feeling with some of their work. Because the
yeah.
payoff, it might be whatever, more money, whatever it might be in whatever situation, but it's like, it seems a true calling
Yeah.
from what I gather.
yeah, it is a lifestyle, and it's really deeply embedded in him.
Yeah.
In his relationship with people, and his relationship with other farmers.
Yeah.
It is a big part of who he is.
What was one of the most surprising things you learned about entering the farm life when it became your entire lifestyle? Is there something that took you by surprise?
I think it's the risk. You plant everything, so you put everything in the soil, and you don't really know if you're going to get a great harvest. So that's
true.
At that time of the year when you're investing in the seed and the fertilizer, you feel it a little bit, like, oh, that's a big investment.
Yeah.
And so it is risky financially, but I think, so that was surprising. But the fact that we have insurance is something that you can, sleep at night.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I think if you didn't have that, you would
No,
really
it's-
worry about it.
Yeah.
So that was a little bit of a learning curve. I don't know, it's just evolved slowly. You get married, you have family. My focus has been on the family and the horses and,
Yeah.
taking care of, I call it the details for the farm. Registering vehicles and billing people and paying guys.
The not so sexy little details things.
Yeah.
Yes, that need to get done.
Yep. It is.
It keeps you grounded for one thing.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
That's so much of it. Oh.
Yep.
Howdy, how you doing? Good. Good riding session? Incredible.
So basically, I take care of other people's horses
Yeah.
in exchange for, it supports my own habit.
Yeah, no,
Our-
of course. Of course.
Doesn't support it fully, but
No, totally.
it makes a big dent in our own horse care.
Amazing. The farmer's daughter here, doing horses.
Oh man,
What's it like
So annoying.
growing up as the farmer's daughter?
it's fun.
Yeah?
I would say it's fun. A lot of time outside.
Sneak in here.
Yeah, thanks.
That must have been fun going to school and stuff and then asking people, being like, what are your parents doing? We're like, we're farmers.
Yeah, I would say going to college, definitely everyone thought that was different because a lot of farmers' daughters or farmers' kids don't go to college.
Is that what they said?
It's like more of a unique field. Like a lot of parents just have like the 9 to 5. So I feel like it's I don't know. It's definitely a different way of growing up. I would say that.
Yeah. What was one of the things just growing up that was, I guess, unique to your situation that when people like talk to you, they were like always surprised, being like, what the heck?
Stuff that we had to do every day that other kids, like even right now, all my friends are hanging out and they don't really understand that why I'm late to things.
Oh,
Or, like,
really?
Or like they all were like, come on, like just skip riding for the day or stuff like that.
It's
They
like,
don't-
no, we don't.
yeah,
This is what we do. It's a lifestyle.
yeah, it's a little different. Or like, yeah, just cleaning stalls or stuff like that.
Yeah.
They don't quite understand why I can't make it to some things.
What was the chores like growing up? Well, was it going to like one of the farms and being like, all right, you got to clean the hay, or what were the chores for you specifically?
Cleaning stalls, definitely.
Yeah. That's
a lot of
humbling
cleaning
experience.
stalls or like bringing in horses. And then sometimes like delivering hay. My dad needed extra help. Stuff like that.
And then
Driving hay trucks around.
driving hay trucks around. So one of the things that, speaking to your dad, that was interesting is you and your brother don't seem interested in carrying on the farming legacy. Is that fair?
Yeah.
And then, so what exactly, is it one of those things where growing up, was it like a lot, or I'm just curious to know, because it seems like a lot of farming farmers that I've spoken to,
Their
not many,
families,
it's
yeah.
like a passed down legacy thing.
Yeah.
Because you don't see a lot of people who go to college and are like, all right, I want to start a farm. Like,
Yeah.
it's very much a familial thing.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'll definitely do the horse business. So I'm more on that side of things.
So you're like, I'll take the land and let's turn it into horse.
Yeah, the horse stuff. Yeah. So I think it's just a different, I'm not like into the farming, sitting in a tractor
Yeah.
type of thing or delivering hay all day, but I'll probably definitely.
What type of person does it take for that? Like,
Somebody that doesn't really care about free time.
free time. So what was it like growing up with your dad? Was it just, he was just always gone, or how would you describe it?
I would say when we were younger, he was definitely like always, pretty much always at work, or like always, like even when we would like go to the dinner, we would have to look at fields after, stuff like
Look
that.
at fields afterwards. All right, guys, I got a surprise. What? We're going to go check out these fields today.
Actually, we would take the scenic routes
No way.
pretty much all the time.
Oh my gosh.
So he could get out and chase the deer off.
Yeah,
That's so good.
yeah, actually. But I think now he has more time, more workers. In the winter,
Yeah.
we ski a lot. So
Okay.
we go, that's our free time.
So that's one of the things that I was trying to get from Scott, and it seemed like he was working all the time, but like as farming, like what I think about it, and I think many people do, is they think they work 7 days a week, they never have free time. It's
Yeah.
just putting their head down and working.
Yeah.
But it sounds like there is still some sort of life outside of that, like,
I think you have to make it, for sure, like a priority.
yeah.
I think you can work 7 days a week and not ever have a day off.
Yeah.
If you want, he definitely could, but I think he makes it a priority to like I think he honestly does work 7 days a week. All year round except for January, probably. Then he goes on vacation and skis.
Okay,
But
there you go. A little bit of a break.
a little bit of a break, but I would say he's 7 days a week.
One of the questions that I feel so bad that I asked, I was like, so what happens when it snows? He's like, we still work. I'm like, wait,
Yeah.
what? He's like, yeah, if there's snow, it doesn't matter. We have to take care
Like
of
his
it.
cleanup day.
That's so crazy to me. And like how every day is, the one thing that I thought was so enticing is the whole thing about every day is so different too. Like some days he was saying how like, all right, if a tractor breaks down, my day is focused on working on the tractor.
Yeah, he gets really mad.
Oh my God. So then for your brother though, in his case, I don't know if I'll get to speak to him, but
My
just
brother is more of the brains.
the brains.
I would say he's more. I think I'm more like my dad in the sense, or my mom. Like I like to be outside. And
Yeah.
I like to be hands-on, like active all day. Not saying Freddie doesn't, but he can sit down and do math problems all day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. But,
He's really smart.
but in terms of the farm lifestyle, he didn't take to it as much?
Yeah, he helps my dad, but I think he knows what it entails, the 7 days a week. And I think he did really well in school, and he can do the chemical engineering side of things and like make a lot of money there. And I think he's choosing that path. I don't know, I don't want to speak for him. But.
So is it one of those things too where it's just that this desire of free time? Is it more because you want, like, where does that come from? Because I feel like his father, from what I gathered, it was like, all right, we're working 7 days a week. That's how it's going to be. And then grandfather, it seemed like more, it was a hobby, but it wasn't his main thing. Do you feel like that's more of the generation?
I think my parents gave us free time.
Don't worry, you can tell me in secret.
I have a thought on that too.
Yeah, go for it, please.
So when Scott was growing up, they struggled to make ends meet.
Yeah.
So the children, the sons, were really needed on the farm. Like they needed to help. They needed to work. And we've been very lucky with Scott's success that he didn't need the kids to like get pulled out of school to catch the cows, or you know, he was able to hire help, and so
I think
it was a little more comfortable financially.
Yeah,
I think for
we also you guys made it clear to do stuff other than farming. I think.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like that much pressure. Like from what I gathered from him, he was like, yeah, whatever they want to do, they want to do. I'm like, that's so interesting, because part of me would be like, I have this entire operation, I need to pass it down, like the legacy. But he's just like, no, they can do what they want. I'm like, whoa.
Well, I mean, it's definitely not something you can do if you don't love it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It's either in you or it isn't. You know, Katie loves riding. It's in her. I couldn't force her to do that. You know, she just went towards it. And Freddie never really went towards farming or horses.
Yeah.
He hates horses.
Doing his own thing there.
So this question is, I guess, for both of you. And if I've already asked you, forgive me. What is like the biggest misconception that you think people, when they think of farming and they think of farmers, what do you think is the biggest misconception people have of it?
I think it's that they're not intelligent.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. Okay. I think a lot of people, like at least going to college, or like they almost get confused, like how I do well in school, or like why I'm there, or why like especially when they hear about Freddie, like why he's super smart, like they get confused.
All right, the farmer's son, I'm with now. So I did like the whole grand tour. I've been all over, went to all your guys' land and stuff. What's it like for you? Because you now live in Colorado, from what I've heard.
Yeah.
You're a chemical engineering student.
Yeah.
So that seems the complete opposite of this whole life.
Yeah.
So how did we end up there?
Honestly, I did well in school, and I liked math and I liked chemistry, and I kind of just chose that just blindly, and it worked out.
Yeah.
I had good professors, and I met some friends in my class, so it was manageable to get through. It wasn't the most exciting stuff, but
You didn't want to be a farmer?
No, I don't know. I kind of just veered off that path.
Yeah.
It's not, I mean, I would work there in the summers, but yeah, after I just thought if I'm going to put myself through that, like all those classes, I might as well just stick with that.
Yeah, no, totally. What's it like growing up as a farmer's son in this area and then like going to school? Because it's not like everyone you know here, especially since we're literally close to places like Morristown, areas where there's a lot of, 9-to-5 careers.
Yeah.
Not everyone is a farmer.
Yeah.
So what's that like growing up?
Oh man, it's so awesome to come back here from Colorado. And I feel like the people here versus the people I've met in Colorado, or even like, obviously there's people from everywhere at that school, but I just find the people from here are much easier to get along with and have fun with. I think they're a lot less stuck up and uptight.
You mean just in New Jersey, or you mean in an area like this, like a rural area?
I mean, both. I'm sure I can't generalize all in New Jersey, but at least the
community
guys
you grew up in.
Yeah, exactly. People I grew up around, and I mean, people from New Jersey in general, I feel like there is kind of, I don't know, some kind of upbeatness about us that's fun. But no, I love it. Like you get a lot of fun stories coming out of here.
I bet, dude.
And
There's so much to do.
Yeah, exactly.
So we were talking to your sister who's coming on over here, and she was kind of telling us going to college. She's not doing your degree. She's doing chemical. Oh, she's doing, what was it? Environmental, agriculture?
Agroecology.
Yeah. But she was saying how like there's so much misinformation and bad information given about the farmer lifestyle.
Yeah.
Have you experienced that at your university and growing up?
I just think people don't really know how like technologically advanced farming's become.
Yeah.
With all like there's AI now that'll basically scan the field as you're driving over it and tell you what's a weed, what's not, and it'll just it'll zap that weed with just a little bit of fertilizer. It's called I think it's selective agriculture.
Dude, that's the industry to get in.
Yeah.
Develop that stuff, then come back here. Holy.
I met with one guy about it. It's really cool stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think you don't really understand how much you need to know about it to actually be successful at farming. I think especially the people I met in Colorado are real granola Boulder people. And they're like, well, everyone should just have their own farm. We should just grow like stuff on our own and then
make it all organic and use non-pesticides that are harmful.
Right.
And you're like, do you realize how hard that is, dude?
Do you realize how much food you have to make? And do you realize like what happens if it's cold one year and none of your shit grows? You could tell the people with that take are people who've never farmed before.
Yeah.
Or I had people like that I lived with even, they're like, well, you guys to use this too much land. We should do all this in old warehouses and stuff. And I don't know, like it's not feasible whatsoever. It's cool in like a community standpoint, I'm sure, but I don't know. You're not going to be able to ship that stuff to places in Montana or places where stuff like there's bad soil, things don't grow easily. So
The idea's right. Your ideas, they mean well.
the concept is good. Like I'm all for like you hear the take that everyone should have chickens and everything that chickens do for your land and food wise. Like that's a great idea.